Welcome to the Angelscapes podcast, where you're encouraged to uncover and develop a direct connection with your soul's power, wisdom, and spiritual intuition that is ready to blossom. We'll explore new ideas, compelling tips, and real steps to help you learn simple spiritual practices. We're a safe place to learn more about accessing your soul's power with education and spiritual wholeness that could bring more clarity to your life. Now here's your host, a practicing medium, Akashic Records practitioner, spirit artist, coach, and mentor, Dr. Reverend Nancy Smith.
You know, a whole breed of children are being born now, and they are called the children of the new earth. Hello, this is Angelscapes, and I am your host, Nancy Smith. And Jill Jackson joins us in this episode to talk about Jill's new book, The Children of the Earth. For many generations, sensitive children have been born into humanity, and Jill was foretold of the arrival of these special and gifted kids. The new Earth children arrive on the 12th ray of consciousness, which Jill will explain to us, and have a beautiful golden aura. As an adult indigo, and Jill's going to explain that to us as well, Jill understands what it's like to be different from the masses, and she has a lot to teach the parents of this new breed of gifted children who will anchor new thought process into humanity. Just a little word about Jill. She's an internationally celebrated psychic medium. She is a spiritualist teacher and published author. She is the recipient of the prestigious Psychic of the Year Award for 2015 and 16 from Best American Psychics. And that's how we met, through Best American Psychics. I can talk today. So Jill's going to tell us more about what she does, but welcome to the show, Jill. I'm so excited to have you on today.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I'm excited to be on the show, and this is such a fun topic and such an interesting topic that I love discussing.
Yeah, and it's so needed. It's so needed. I love the golden aura children. When you were describing them to me, I just saw these children running around with, well, kids, dirty fingernails, and they're learning how to share, and they're not always, happy, but these special kids, they could just, and plus I was looking at my grandkids wondering, which one was which. So yes. Jill, explain the, just for reference for everybody listening, you're an indigo child and you go through rainbow, crystal, diamond, golden, earth child. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. I think so many of the listeners are probably familiar with the terms crystal children, rainbow children, indigo. I am an adult indigo, which means that the indigos were kind of the way showers, and we have more of a warrior type spirit, kind of a spiritual warrior, paving the way, if you will. Adult indigos literally started the out of the box thinking, helping people understand that the paradigm that we have been conditioned to believe that we are in is much, much different than what it is in reality. And so as an indigo, I was kind of one of the, front runners, the way showers, if you will, and started teaching about that and talking to my clients about it. And then after that, you have the crystal children that came in, and then after the crystal, the rainbow children, and then the diamond. And then in 2014, I was channeling and in Naples, Florida, and this group consciousness came in and told me about the golden rays that would start incarnating in 2017, Nancy. Wow. And I was just blown away. They told me that I would be writing a book about the golden ray children, that they were going to be quite different than the other gifted and sensitive children. And I, had a little bit of a human moment where I didn't understand why I had been sort of not ordered to do this, but asked to do it, because I was not able to have biological children in this lifetime. So the human part of myself was wondering, why, I was sort of chosen to write this book. And what I was told is that my soul contract was to be a mother to many. And
So sweet.
and that was such a beautiful honor. So after that, I was excited to dive into it, and I started channeling more about these kids, and then they started arriving in 2017, and it's just fascinating. And the book that I'm doing, Nancy, is not about labeling the children in a box, okay? Because some of the rainbow kids and crystal kids and diamond kids even overlap with the years. I can give you, an example of some
please.
time periods.
Yeah.
But there's some overlapping there. So it's not about boxing these kids in. It's about helping the guardians, the parents, the grandparents, even the teachers, the educators understand what type of child that they are dealing with, what ray of consciousness they came in on, what are their gifts, what are their challenges. And so that's what this book is about.
Oh, that is terrific. A little bit more. We have the rainbow kids, the crystal kids, there's attributes. Are there attributes different? Or we said the indigo is kind of warrior, sounds like a path paver kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but and then just a little bit more.
The characteristics are definitely different. Of course, some of them do overlap. Most of these kids are extremely sensitive. Most of them are empaths. But just some key differences to talk about. The diamond rays, they came in on the 10th and 11th ray of consciousness, and they have a lot of the same attributes as the crystal and the rainbow kids, because they are peacemakers. They are somebody that can go and even have a knowing of when someone is in need of a hug, or when someone, even another kid, if that kid is feeling down or depressed, a diamond ray kid will go and just give them a big hug and give them loving support. Whereas the golden rays that started coming in, they came in on the 12th ray of consciousness, and they have the gold aura. They are not as much connected to people. In fact, they're very, very different. A lot of them even look different. They look what I would call otherworldly, if you will. They have very, very distinct characteristics, and they are more connected to Mother Gaia and the animal kingdom. So they're much more comfortable out in nature with animals. And with humans, they're very selective on who they allow into their energy field. And even some of the parents and grandparents that I'm interviewing talk about that sometimes their golden rays will even embarrass them with some things that they say, because they're so direct. They have never had a lifetime here on this planet.
Oh, really?
They're very old souls. So their wisdom and their knowledge is tremendous, but their lifetimes have been on other star systems, other galaxies, other planets. So it's fascinating, the differences.
Wow. Why? I mean, did they explain? I'm sure. What did you say in your book about their purpose?
Yes, that's a great question, Nancy. So the crystal children came in, and they came in after the indigos, and they kind of brought that peacemaker quality in. But even a lot of crystal children were diagnosed with disabilities, autism, ADHD, when in actuality they're just gifted kids. They just have gifts that are different than the masses, and they're just misunderstood. And so then the crystals started giving birth to the rainbow kids. The rainbow, even the diamond rays, their purpose was still actually to help humanity. Mm-hmm. And so they are more healers. They are the ones that work with individuals and help individuals on their own path and their own journey. Whereas the golden rays, their purpose is actually to help raise the frequency and to heal Mother Gaia, to heal Mother Gaia, and to help her raise her consciousness as well. So
Well,
that is their purpose.
to raise Mother Gaia's consciousness as well.
Yes, because
Okay.
actually it's being elevated into fifth dimensional frequency, and it's interesting because we think of dimensions as, you know, going up and up and up, but it's more like an energy that's being infused in. And when you hear the term heaven on earth, that's what's happening right now with the new earth being formed. The fifth dimensional frequency is actually integrating into the third dimensional consciousness and frequency of Mother Earth, so that we can actually achieve heaven on earth. And it seems very uncomfortable right now. It feels very chaotic for so many people, and so many of us, especially us sensitives, are really getting hit hard right now because it feels very chaotic. But the golden rays actually came in to anchor what's known as Christ consciousness on our planet. Okay, and so they are fully focused on Mother Earth, on Mama Gaia.
Mama Gaia. And you know, those little guys are just 2017. They're still pretty little. They're 6 years old would be the oldest, and
Absolutely.
then down to
But their wisdom, you know, some of the feedback from the parents when I'm doing these interviews, which I'm just having a blast interviewing these parents and grandparents about these gifted kids, and I have interviews for the book in all categories. But what they're talking about is that they are just so very different, but they're so wise. Some of the parents and the grandparents are talking about that these kids even know things about things that they don't know themselves. So the wisdom that is coming in with these, especially the diamond rays and the golden rays, is profound. And some of the parents are having a challenge keeping those boundaries, and that's what I'm talking about in the book as well. How do you create a safe container to be the guardian of these special kids, but at the same time help them understand, you know, I'm still your parent, I'm still your grandparent. It's been fascinating.
And they still need to go through their child development stages.
Yes.
Of all the how to hold your fork right, how to you name it.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about I guess give me some examples of some of the people that you've interviewed, some of the things that they said.
Yeah, that's the fun part too. So I interviewed Gabrielle, who she's also a psychic medium. So the golden rays will only choose, we choose our parents. And a lot of my clients and students over the years, you know, say there's no way that's possible. But as you know, Nancy, we do. Our souls choose our parents, and the golden rays will only choose gifted parents themselves, or enlightened parents, or parents that can help them, you know, understand their gifts. Whereas the crystal children, that wasn't the case. A lot of the crystal children still had a soul contract to be able to come in and have challenges around either one or more of their parents. But the golden rays, that is not the scenario. They're choosing gifted parents. So Gabrielle is a psychic medium, and she is a mom to a golden ray boy. And she came in literally, I believe she said he was around 3 years old, and she came in and he was talking, he was reciting the 369 and, you know, the secrets of the universe, and just something he had never even been around, you know. And so she asked him if he were discovering the secrets of the universe, and he sat there for a moment at 3 years old and thought about it, and then said to her, "Not yet, but I'm working on it." And
not yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. So their knowledge and their wisdom of technology, part of what they came here to offer humanity is new ways of sustainability, you know, new ways of really caring for the planet. I'm gonna have to move the sun is coming in.
It's beautiful.
Here.
Yeah.
There we go. It's been such a beautiful day here in Mississippi. But the wisdom that they came in with technology is astounding. So that I'm really excited to see what all they're going to bring for us in the future. Another fun example, Leanna, she is also a psychic medium, and she's a grandmother to a golden ray boy. Her daughter is a crystal child.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
they're, the gifts, Leanna was an indigo, the daughter crystal, and now she has the golden ray boy. Well, the golden ray boy astral travels. They live in different states, and he will astral travel to see her and to visit with her, and she can energetically feel him. So one night she started taking photos in the room of where she felt his energy, and she actually captured his face on camera. I mean,
Wow.
it's amazing. And
Wow.
she did not teach him how to astral travel, and he even goes into detail with her. I mean, how this kid knew how to do that is mind-blowing.
Amazing. It's
Yes,
amazing. Wow.
yes.
Wow.
Another fun thing is the rainbow kids. The good thing with the rainbows, and the way you can tell a rainbow, is their aura, the color of their aura. But they also have an energy of balance, of yin and yang, and they are instant manifestors. I'm talking to some parents of rainbow kids, and they are talking about that they've never seen such instant manifestors in their
Wow.
life, that it's just so much fun to watch these kids call something into existence. And then I've got another story.
Yeah.
Kristen is also, she was one of my students before. Now she's a professional psychic medium, and she's stepmom to a diamond ray, and her little diamond ray stepdaughter will grid. She gets her crystals, and Kristen will walk in the room and she will just have all of these crystals laid out in a beautiful healing type grid, and nobody taught her to do that. She's just fascinated
Wow.
with crystals.
Wow. Wow. What a sweet, oh, so exciting. I was, I'll tell you a little story and you can maybe explain it to me. I, 2016, maybe late in 2015, I was sitting on the deck and kind of just chilling out after the day. And I felt this presence. I'm a medium. So I felt this presence, and it was a young, kind of a youngish man, young, a young adult, was tall and thin and had kind of blondie curly hair. And I thought it was, a spirit of somebody just passed tonight. And I said, can I help you? And he says, oh, I'm just looking around. I said, what are you looking around for? He goes, I'm looking around to see if this is where I want to go, if this is the family I want to be with. And I said, what? And he said, I'm looking for science parents. And I said, well, he goes, so he was checking me out as a grandmother.
Oh,
And then he,
that
then
is
he poofed out.
amazing.
Yeah, and he's here, and he's 6, and he's thin little guy, same blonde hair, and a very focused. This little guy, he just loves cars, those little matchbox cars, and ever since he was, I don't know, since he could fit the thing in his hands, he would organize them in a row on the couch. He's very on the couch, or by color, or by he has a sense of really strong patterns and how things work. And he,
Yes.
he kind of is his mother says he's not warm and fuzzy, but he's a great kid, but he focuses on what he's doing. Hey, now he has
Oh,
2 little brothers. What do you think? What is
Nancy, he's definitely a golden ray.
okay?
I have chills, and I mean, I love it. And even you can't make it up, because the year that he came to you in that vision, you said was around 2015,
He was born in 17. Yeah,
26. Yes, and that's
October
the time period.
2017. Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
I've got full body chills. So of
Oh,
course he would choose you. You're a psychic medium, to choose you as his grandmother. And I love how you talked about not warm and fuzzy, but just good. Okay,
yeah.
and that is another attribute they're not, the warm and fuzzy is more of the diamond rays, which were incarnating before the golden rays, and they still have that warm and fuzzy, but the golden rays, and they're very misunderstood. And that's why when I channeled this information, I was told that it's so important to get this book out there to help parents and grandparents and guardians and educators understand that they're not being rude, that this is just their temperament. They don't understand a lot of humans, and they're just so very different and focused. That was a good description that you had of your grandson as well.
Yeah, he's in California. I'm going to have to check out that Astrals travel thing, because I keep thinking you're just so far away, but I keep forgetting you're really not that far away. So
Exactly.
check it. I love that story. So, whatever, let me think here. Would a parent know or not know that their child is special? What are some of the biggest challenges that you're having in talking to?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. Just feeling very different from their peers, feeling a sensitivity sometimes to crowds. Sometimes they have a sensitivity to noise. So you'll have, other children who don't have these types of gifts, who are very loud and boisterous. And a lot of these sensitive kids are very, very sensitive to noise, and they also need Mother Nature so much. I've found with a lot of the golden rays, there's a type of hyper energy, if you will, where if you think about that we are all made up of energy, imagine coming in on the 12th ray and having that much light in your physical body and being in such a dense place, such as the third dimensional frequency of Earth, and trying to have that energy go through the physical body. So it's important to teach these kids how to go outside and ground. One of my former students, Missy, actually helped me with that right before the podcast tonight, because even as teachers, sometimes we remember things again from our students, and I was just feeling so much anxiety. I'm a Mother Earth sensitive. There's a lot of earthquake energy building, and she reminded me, go outside, get barefoot, hug a tree, grab a rock, and I did. And when I did that, it was just, I felt a peace and a calmness, and the trees will take this anxious, chaotic energy from us and transmute it. So we can teach our little ones to do that if they're feeling hyper, or they're feeling like they have so much energy. Teach them to go outside, get barefoot, grab a tree, hug a tree, and that helps calm them. Take them for nature walks. I do a type of exercise on my retreats called a vision walk. Grant Morgan's book called Vision Walk is amazing, and it's like a vision quest, but it's a mini version, and you just walk through nature and start looking for signs and synchronicities, and a lot of times the answers to things will come to you. So if we can teach our young ones to do this, if they're feeling anxious about something, let's take them for a walk through nature. Teach them to calm down, teach them meditation, teach them breathing techniques. So very important to help them understand this energy, understand their aura, understand. I teach it in my classes. Our aura around our physical body, I call this sacred real estate. And a lot of times these sensitive and gifted kids have their auras out, 10 feet in the room. And so they are bringing in the chaos and the emotions from so many other kids and even other adults around them. So it's important for us to teach these kids how to learn to bring our aura in very close to our body, and how to protect that sacred real estate and not let anyone come in to upset
that makes
the
so much
peace.
sense. Yeah.
Yes.
I was just picturing, this is first years of kindergarten for some of these kids, and getting into the classroom can be crazy making and
Yes.
and intimidating and all that stuff. But I love the idea. I didn't learn how to do that till I was way into being an adult, to pull that, your energy, your auric field, learn how to push it out, learn how to pull it in. And that is really calming. I love that. You can teach kids how to do that. It's
Yes, and that's
very
something
creative.
they would enjoy working with, helping them understand the Merkaba, helping them understand, the basic aura and how to protect that and how to bring that in. It's life-changing for these young sensitives. And the other thing, Nancy, is I would really highly recommend that they not go to traditional schools. They're especially the rainbows and the diamond rays and the golden rays, because it's really only about 12% of the population is what spirit has channeled to me. So in the grand scheme of things, there's not a lot of these gifted kids out there. So if they can either be homeschooled or even, find a hybrid type school or something like that, a nature school. I know more and more places are coming up with these kinds of educational programs to help these kids actually thrive, instead of feeling chaotic and misunderstood. Because that's the other thing, these sensitive kids, and I know because I was one, you just feel like you have three heads sometimes and you feel like nobody really understands you. So if we can bring all these kids together, like-minded kids, to help each other, then again, that helps them feel like they're not so alone and they're not so misunderstood.
Yeah, absolutely can understand that. In the event that one of these kids can't go to homeschool or they can't go to a special hybrid school, they are where they are, they have to go to the regular, public schools, say for instance, what can a parent do to help? You know what I mean? Parents are busy, there's two jobs going on, there's, the generation after generation of two breadwinners in the house. The kids don't always get a ton of attention. What would you
Yeah.
do?
Well, the good news with the golden rays, they are choosing parents who are going to truly support them on their journey. So I have a lot of faith in that. And in doing these interviews with these parents, they are already thinking about these kinds of decisions for their kids. Now, in the chance that they can't, I would say try to balance it as much as possible, taking them to nature before school, after school, on the weekends, teaching them how to do some deep breathing. I mean, kids can learn that. They can learn our breath calms us and our breath centers us. And if we can teach our children very slow breathing and teach them how to do the diaphragm breathing, and there's different nostril type breathings, exercises that we can teach our kids to just calm them if they're feeling anxious or feeling chaotic. We can also teach these kids how to determine whether it is their emotions that they are feeling or whether empathetically they are picking up on all of the emotions around the school. I mean, I know some kids that actually know when the teachers are having problems at home, I mean, they can read.
I remember. I knew that. Let me ask you a question. Somebody just, actually, it's not just my question, but somebody said, she said, she's commenting on, what do you mean there are not that many out there? She said, aren't many of the kids or all the kids elevated these days? Do you see what I'm saying? It's because I feel like we were talking about the golden ray, but it seems like there are other things going on. What do you see?
Yes, absolutely. But what I'm talking about with the 12% are the golden rays. That's what my team channeled to me, because
Okay.
again, just like your grandson came to you, Nancy, and said, I'm here to check this out and see if I'm wanting to incarnate here. So it is a huge undertaking when you think about coming in from the 12th ray of consciousness and never incarnating on this planet before, and agreeing to come here in service. So that's the 12% that I was referring to. Absolutely. There's so many gifted kids and sensitive kids, and they are evolving so much quicker than many of us did. And so a lot of what we're talking about today really pertains to any sensitive kid out there. And there's so many different variations. I mean, some kids have natural healing in their hands, and they just came in to be natural healers. Some kids are just extremely psychic and they just know things. Some kids can see the spirit world, more so than ever. So I agree with the listener that there are more and more kids who have these gifts, for sure.
Thank you. She said thank you. She agrees 100%. So
Yes.
she's excited. I'm curious this, and I don't know if your team talked about this, but technology and these golden ray kids. Any messages around that?
Yes, that is one of the gifts that they came in to bring, new technology. Other galactic civilizations are so much more advanced than we are here, and that is one of the characteristics of the golden rays, that they came here to help with that. And I love how you were talking about your grandson is very organized and wants things put together, and the same I'm getting from the parents and the grandparents of the golden rays is they're very, very methodical,
right,
and they're very detailed, and they are going to bring this type of ancient wisdom to help with new technology, for sure. It's one of the reasons that they came here to the planet.
That's fascinating. Yeah, I was wondering as I was watching him play, and I said, I know, and he did say, I want science parents.
That's amazing. You can't make it up, can you, Nancy?
Yeah, I know.
Because that is one of, again, they are going to make sure to choose the parents and the grandparents, because they don't have any karma to balance here on Mother Earth. So think about that too. We came here with karma, and to balance karma from past lives, and these golden rays have never had an incarnation here on this planet, so they have no karma that they need to balance. So they came here truly to give of themselves, and it's very important that they chose, the right fit for the parents and the grandparents. So it's no coincidence, Nancy, that we're having this podcast today when you actually have a golden ray grandson.
Yeah,
you can't make it up.
Oh, that is wonderful. I'm not sure I'm going to tell their parents just this, but it's okay. It's all designed. There's such a big design, and the fact that you said you had a human moment when your team told you, and yet you still move forward. And the book is probably based on many different philosophies. How did you come to pull the whole book together? It must have been mostly channeled, but so much. So tell me more.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's a hybrid book. Part of it is channeled material. I'm the first person that actually brought the term golden ray kids. When this came to me, was downloaded to me in 2014. Nobody even knew about the golden rays. And so a lot of the material is channeled, all of the material is channeled with the golden rays. And then also doing the interviews with the parents and the grandparents. And as you know, every time we interview somebody, we gain more and more knowledge and wisdom around that subject matter. So I'm learning so much as well that's fitting into the channeled material from the interview process. And then the other part of it is, I was an Indigo child myself. So over the years, I've read so many books about the Indigos, and it fits me to a T. So I have a lot of knowledge and experience with Indigos, and then just with the thousands of readings that I've done and the hundreds and hundreds of students just learning about the different categories. So that's how part of it is from my own experience and part of it is channeled.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you one interesting thing
Oh,
that
please.
happened, Nancy, is I had been downloaded about the golden rays in 2014, and I believe it was around 2015 or 2016. Well, it had to be 2016 because the golden ray was born in 2017. I did a reading for both of her parents, and she was pregnant at the time. And so they both came in together, both gifted parents, and I channeled talking to the soul of the little golden ray girl
No
that
way.
was still in utero. And I was crying because it was the first time I had been in the energy of a 12th ray soul, and to be almost here in the human form, it was the most humbling, beautiful experience. And I remember, and a lot of it, I don't remember when we're channeling, but they had emailed me later after she was born, and they started detailing all that had come through during that channeling session and comparing what was actually happening with their little girl. And I remember telling them that she was going to have an affinity with the animal kingdom like nothing anybody has seen before.
Wow.
And in one of the emails, she talks about her little golden ray, that an example was a bear. They live in North Carolina, and a bear had come into their backyard, and the little girl was out there playing. And of course, the parents are going to go and get her to bring her to safety from the bear. And the bear all of a sudden laid down and bowed to this child. And
No
this
way.
mother of this golden ray said she's never seen anything like it. She has other examples where they go to the nature place where there's a lot of the rescued wild animals, and she'll talk about the experiences that when the animals make eye contact with her little golden ray child, that even all the other visitors around will stop and tune into what is going on, because you can't describe it. It's so amazing.
Wow. So she's making connections with all these animals.
Yes.
I'm just picturing this in my head. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
It's so beautiful. But if you think about it, I mean, animals to me are a higher frequency than humans. The unconditional love, and we have so much to learn from the animals, and the animals can recognize that kind of frequency. Okay. And they recognize the purity of the soul, that these children are not going to harm them, that they're actually came here to help them in so many ways. It's just beautiful and very humbling to witness.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm just kind of taking a look at some of the things that you had said about things that we want to touch base on. What do you think? We talked about schooling and how the different non-traditional schooling is important for these kids, and they talked about the affinity to the animal kingdom. And we talked about technology. What are some of the other things that you've been noticing?
Definitely sustainability, just a care for the environment, a true caring for Mother Earth, for nature. Most of the parents and the grandparents are talking about that their kids these kids want to be outside, where when you think about it, a lot of the kids nowadays are just so addicted to their devices, and all they want to do is sit on the computers. And while these kids do want the technology of the phones and the computers, they definitely want that because it's something that's near and dear to them and part of their purpose. They also really need and crave being outside and playing in nature. And especially when the parents understand how much this helps them, there's a shift that goes on there with kind of their anxiety and feeling, just much calmer.
Okay, so you're talking a little bit of anxiety with some of these sensitive kids, which makes sense. Sensitive.
Yes, and like I said, another really fun thing too. Let me just this son. I apologize, Nancy's
following you around.
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Another funny thing is that they're very blunt, and these. I love to hear if your grandson has this characteristic as well. But a lot of the golden rays, they can look through you to a soul level, and it's like they're sizing your energy up in a way, and within mere seconds they can decide if you have an energetic frequency that they are comfortable with or you are someone where they really do not want to bring you into their energy. And it's some of the parents have said that their kids have been a little bit rude, where they just, don't want to be in that person's energy, or they would even say to that person, you're much different than I am. And so the parents are, having to explain to them, there's a way to say things without hurting somebody's feelings, but they're just very blunt and direct. A lot of no filter goes on too.
I don't notice that so much with him, his younger brother, maybe a little bit, but he could say some stuff to his younger brother, but that's, kind of you expect that. But he I'd have to watch him a little more carefully now with all the things that you've said, because he does say stupid little boy things. So you say, hey, wait a minute. But,
it's just fascinating because some of the one interview I was doing, and I'm trying to remember the details. I believe this child that I was interviewing was either a rainbow or a diamond, and just a medium, right away, just able to communicate with the other world. And this one parent that I was interviewing was taking her son to a type of merry-go-round where you get up on the horses and it goes round and round. And she said to her son, well, this will be fun because this will be my first time of riding a merry-go-round, and this will be your first time. And her son said, stop lying, Mama. And she said, that's not very nice. Mama's not lying. And he said, yes, you are. Grandma is telling me that you did ride this. She took you on this ride. And because her mother is in spirit, and her mother was telling him that she was on that. So afterwards, she called her dad and said, please tell me if this is true. And he said, absolutely. As a baby, we took you. And I mean, she had no recollection or memory of it because she had been a baby. So her son, said it in a blunt way, like, you're lying, Mama. And she says, no. But she had to go back and apologize to him and say, you know what? You're right. I've been on a merry-go-round before. So it's interesting things like that.
But you could also teach him, I was a baby. I had no way of remembering. But but still, like, he's having direct connection to his grandmother and straightforward information. That's really wild. It's unnerving. It's unnerving. Our kids bring us to our knees anyway, and how they look at the world. And I was like, I guess you're right. But I stopped thinking of it like that. But,
exactly.
Exactly. So during this time where these golden ray kids are born, I'm thinking of families and siblings, and what are their support systems in the world? Are they going to come into Rainbow Crystal kids that are older than them, or how are they just independently going to work, do their stuff, or?
Well, and it's why it's so important to get this book out there, because the main thing, Nancy, is for us to educate the parents, the grandparents, and even the educators out there to know how to really support these young people who are truly our future. I mean, we all young people are our future for sure, but these kids need a different type of environment to be able to fully feel safe and secure in who they are. So
Okay.
the main thing I would say to the parents, the guardians, the grandparents is take some psychic and soul development classes yourself
Okay.
to learn how to center your own self, how to quiet your own mind. Teach by example. Teach them how to meditate. Start doing yoga with your kids.
Yeah.
Find a place where they have parents and yoga classes, or do it at home, because if we can teach these children through our own examples, that's going to be huge in itself.
Now, you have a program, intuitivecompassacademy.com. Is that a place where people can go to?
Yes, absolutely. I have an online school there, intuitivecompassacademy.com. I teach psychic and soul development. I have an intro to intuition class, Nancy, coming up on May 27th.
Ooh,
And
nice.
if your listeners go to jillamjackson.com and just go to schedule now, they'll be able to see that class. It's a 7-hour class, and it's kind of a really ground level foundational class that would be really good for parents and guardians of these gifted kids to be able to take this class and again start learning how to work with our own energy, because if we're
Yeah.
not centered ourselves, then how can we help center these kids?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add your Jill M. Jackson so people can see that. There we go. So people can see Jill M. Jackson. Sorry about the caps, but Intuitive Compass or Academy or Jill M. Jackson, look her up. It's a beautiful website, lots of easy to access resources. So I highly recommend checking it out, learning about her and looking at her classes. You also, I don't want to forget about, first of all, Children of the New Earth. It's out now?
No, I'm still writing it. I'm still writing it.
Oh, wow. When you said
Yeah.
you were still interviewing parents, I was like, wow, how are you? So when is it? When do you suppose it's coming out?
I'm not sure. It depends
Okay.
on publishing. So if your listeners can go to my Facebook page, it's Jill M. Jackson Psychic Medium. Follow me on there. Follow me on Instagram. Join my newsletter. I'm going to be announcing the pre-sales of the
Oh,
the
good.
book in advance.
Okay.
So that'll be a way that people can know about when it's going to be released. And another thing I wanted to mention, Nancy, is my husband and I lead spiritual retreats as well. And that's another
Oh,
way for parents and grandparents to go and understand how to work with their own energy. We work with the energy of the land. We do ceremonies. We learn how to transmute our own energy. We
beautiful.
just got back from an amazing retreat in Sedona. We're going again in September. So again, follow me on Facebook. Be sure to join my newsletter. And I have an interest list going right now on the Sedona retreat. 16 of us just got back, and it's life-changing, because again, it teaches us how to recenter ourselves. It teaches us how to calm ourselves and how to work with the energy of Mother Earth, because going to these powerful spots, these vortexes, these portals around the world, and being able to use the energy of these sacred spots and these portals and the vortex energy shifts us in so many ways that it's mind-blowing. I mean, literally, people's lives are changed And that's the feedback
Amazing.
from the testimonials that we're receiving from people that just went with us on this retreat, that their life just changed overnight in that week-long retreat. It's
Gotta get
powerful. You
going,
do enough
yeah.
work on these retreats really to accomplish about a year of spiritual growth classes, which is an amazing way to increase our own awareness.
Now, do children come to these retreats? It's for adults.
So far, they've been for adults. We have been playing around with the idea of offering a retreat for parents and their gifted kids and
Oh,
sometime in the
nice.
future.
Yeah.
And yeah, if anybody out there wants to collaborate on that, just reach out, because that's something we do get a lot of requests for that. And my spirit team hasn't really told me quite yet to finalize it, but it's something that we're getting a lot of people wanting for sure.
Well, let me know if you need any helping hand grandmas. I'm there.
Awesome.
It's so
Awesome, Nancy.
beautiful. You have more than this book coming out. I think you have 2 books out already. Tell me a
Yes,
little
I
about
do.
them.
Yeah, my debut book was called Mississippi Medium: From Southern Baptist to Talking to the Dead. And that's basically my autobiography and my memoir. And it just talks about my experiences. I grew up Southern Baptist, very religious in the Bible Belt, and how over time I left the dogmatic constraints of organized religion. I still believe in God, creator, but I left that. It's very confining to me. And being told that my gifts were evil, and, having a knowing that they're the most loving, benevolent angels and guides that we work with. And so I wrote that book. I believe it's gotten almost all 5 stars. It's continues doing really, really well. And then my second book was called Secrets of the Secret, and that's based on the original teachings of The Secret, which that book was published about 20 years ago. And I take the teachings of that book and I bring those teachings into the current paradigm that we're in, because the law of attraction is really powerful, but sometimes there are episodes where it doesn't work. And I went on a quest to find out why, and it has to do with past lives and karma and soul contracts and so many different layers. And also there's so many other spiritual laws that we haven't been taught to work with.
Exactly.
And that's what my book is about.
I
It's like,
that.
Let's don't just stop with the law of attraction. The law of attraction is so powerful.
Tiny little piece of it.
It's a little tiny piece of it for sure.
I am so on board
that
with
book
that.
won an independent publishers award, and super excited about that.
Oh, that's what. Oh, yeah. I grab that one up. Yeah, it's absolutely true that the law of attraction, as it's presented, is disconnected sometimes from a lot of other principles that go along with it. So yeah, learning about those. Wow, that would be definitely worth it to grab that one and read it up.
Yes, and that one was partly channeled as well. Again, it's kind of a hybrid. Some of it came in from my wisdom teachings over the years. I've been teaching this work a very long time. I was born with the gift, but a lot of it is channeled material, which is people are loving that book.
Oh, that's very exciting. It's very exciting. How hard was it? Or well, how could I say, did it take, like, how much TNT did it take to move you from a staunch Christian background to a spiritual? Was it you said it was gentle over time, or was it maybe not so gentle over time? Or
I wouldn't say it was gentle. It was over time. And I just started really, I mean, I always had a knowing that something was not quite right from what we were being taught in church. And and then seeing, I mean, even as a small child, seeing my pastor having an affair with the choir director, and standing up there preaching about that, we don't commit adultery while he's actually doing that. It
Right.
just
Yeah.
felt hypocritical to me. And I honor everybody's belief. I mean, that's the thing, Nancy. I have no judgment, and I don't push my own beliefs on anyone else. And but I welcome and honor all paths, all beliefs.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. And it sounds like your sense of we call it the natural laws and spiritualism, which are just the Kabbalion, which is, all this stuff. But it sounds like your sense of doing what you say, saying what you're going to do, being aligned, integrity, which is an issue of integrity,
Yes.
is important to you. And in my sense of it is your integrity is what keeps the energy flowing. I can't imagine being a pastor and not living up to what you're saying, how he was very stuck in his life. I'm judging, I suppose, but that would cause a lot of grief, I would think. But
Yeah. And I mean, we could talk for another couple of hours on
yeah,
examples such as
yeah,
that, where I just started realizing it was more about the money, of, building a larger and larger church. And even Jesus didn't need a church with his teachings. So I feel like a lot of the times that the way gets lost. And when you get down to it, Nancy, the golden rule, if we could all live, do unto others as we would have them do unto
it's
you,
you.
that covers pretty much everything
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there. Just be
yeah.
a good person, treat people the way you would want to be treated, and honor your own integrity. And I teach my students that too, because our authentic truth is so powerful. And when we have been told that we are evil and that we're going to burn in a fiery hell for the rest of eternity if we visit a psychic room, or if we talk
Oh,
to our grandmother in the spirit world, of really have anxiety in people. And to me, the God that I love is a very loving God who actually, I got these gifts. I came in with these gifts. There's nothing evil about what
no.
I do.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, you have that connection. It sounds like you had that connection since you were a child. You just knew it since you were a child.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, I can sort of really resonate with that. It's just things that I knew as a little tiny person, that I soon realized not everybody thought of that or did that. Um, I love the sun. Oh, by the way, when you look at this video, after we're done, I want you to watch the light behind you. It's doing some really interesting things. I think there's something going on in the light
Yes.
as you talk.
I'm noticing the same thing,
Yeah.
Nancy, that this is my sacred space in here with all of my crystals. And yes, there's a lot of energy going on for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it's just terrific. That's just terrific. Um, there's so much to. I'm trying to decide if we should open up another topic, but you have so many amazing things that you've accomplished and done, and I'm curious to know. I guess this is you don't have children of your own, and yet you're very involved in children right now, like the mother you're birthing. Like I said, you're going to be the mother of many. Um, that's a huge responsibility, but also that connection must be very satisfying to you.
I write about that journey in my book, Secrets of the Secret, about not being able to have children in this lifetime. And, it was a very challenging journey to walk, Nancy. But I am blessed to have two stepchildren. And I'm also blessed to be an aunt as well.
Nice.
So I love the children that I'm around. And I love the fact that I'm able to do this work and help so many other children through working with their parents and their grandparents. It's just such an amazing honor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like you have an angel's touch around you. Where do angels, oh, I hope you don't mind. Where do angels fit within your world? There's
Oh,
many.
I love angels.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen Archangel Michael
Oh,
with my physical eyes. One of the
wow.
trips to Sedona in 2009. I write about that in my book as well. So I have a very, very close connection to the angelic realm. I've taken all 6 levels of the Seraphim blueprint with Lucy Finch in Naples,
Wow.
Florida. And
Mm.
I love angels. Have them all
Oh,
over my
that's
room.
wonderful. That's wonderful. Metatron, well, in the Akashic Records, Metatron heads up the Akashic Records, but also is about education in children. And I was wondering if you ever chatted up Metatron about these amazing children.
It's interesting, but I have not channeled Metatron as of yet. But I am aware that Metatron works in both realms, like you said, the Akashic Records and with gifted children. So who knows?
Yeah.
Possibly I will start channeling him as well. One archangel that I channeled about that helps me with my Akashic record work is Micah, Micah.
Oh yeah.
And years
Right.
ago, when he came to me, I was in a channeling and he said he wanted to work with me with the Akashic Records. And I said, am I hearing you right? Where it's Michael, because I had never heard of Archangel Micah.
Micah. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
said, no, it's Micah. And I'm the Lord of the Keeper of the Akashic Records. So
Yeah.
after I got out of the channeling, of course, you go to Google to try to validate what we're hearing. And I was just so shocked and excited at the
Wow.
same time.
Nice.
So I've worked with Archangel Micah and mainly Michael, but love the work, love those. Do you work with Metatron, Nancy?
I do. Well, I do. And sometimes I wish I channeled more. I'd like to be up, but sometimes I'm going, can I hear you now? But I do talk to them a lot. Archangel Michael has been wonderful to me. And Metatron I feel. And I feel and I want to do more. I'm in and out. My best bud is Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary. They work a lot with the Akashic healing that I do. And Ratziel and is it Zathkiel who has the violet flame? Who holds the violet flame in the
Oh my
angelic
goodness.
realm that saves Saint
Yes,
Germain?
and that's my
So yeah,
Saint Germain.
Saint
Yes.
Germain, and then behind Saint Germain is an angel. I think I'm almost
Yes,
Zathkiel or
and my
maybe.
husband works with
Yeah,
him a lot as
yeah,
well with the violet flame. Um,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just handling.
Zadkiel, some Daniel Clark, Zadkiel.
Okay,
He says,
okay,
I know
perfect.
this, but I did see one angel that I saw. I don't could be clairvoyant, but I don't necessarily see the angels. But one time I did actually see the outline of Archangel Raphael on a hospital wall when I was getting a treatment that I didn't want to get, and he was there and he gave me a prayer to say. So
Oh, how beautiful is that?
it was wonderful, and I
That's
wish I
amazing.
could talk to him all the time, and I feel flighty that I don't, but I sometimes wonder if they just that's the way it is. But
You know, my spirit team, Nancy, has taught me so much about surrender, and
mhm.
and I still, as a human, want to control. I'm a control freak, and it was one of the most difficult, challenging aspects for me to learn to stop trying to control everything. And I teach my students this, and even when I saw Archangel Michael in 2009, when I took a retreat back to Sedona to the same exact location, I believe it was 2019, I went into meditation and I said, am I going to be able to see Archangel Michael again with these eyes? Because I mean, you can't describe it.
I
Tears
know,
just
yeah.
rolling down my face. And my spirit team said, are you trying to control what happens? And I said, no, not me. I would never do anything like that, which yes, I was. And they said, surrender to new possibilities. And sure enough, on that trip, I did not see Archangel Michael that time. I felt him, but I did not see him. But my mom, who was in spirit, appeared in her light body form as an angel in my room and full, I mean, looking at with these eyes.
Oh
So
my
it was just as
goodness.
profound of an experience.
Oh
So I
yes.
think if we can learn, and I'm talking to myself right now too, to stop trying to control everything and just be open and surrender to the magic of the infinite possibilities
Right.
that lie
Yeah.
before us.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is the best answer ever. I would take that answer in my heart home to me. I'm going off topic, but if it's too far, let me know. But I was in Sedona, Arizona a few years ago, and it's the stones. I think we looked at some of the Pueblo villages. We were all over the place before we ended up there. But I went on a tour with somebody who took me to look at different stones on the side of these cliffs, and they were growing faces. And there was one that I was taken to that was really out of the way. Nobody really quite knew where it was, and we were on a cul-de-sac of a wealthy neighborhood, and it was the council, and they were standing there, and I just talked to them uh, in my imagination, in my heart, but they were overseeing something very important, and I want to know more about that. I have to go back and talk to them. But do you know what I mean about the faces coming on the rocks?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you can just go to Sedona and look and see the faces. I mean, almost in every mountain formation. The thing about Sedona is it's a portal to the galactic
Mm.
realms. And, we call them aliens or just really other beings, really are easily able to come in and out of this dimension through that portal. Bell Rock is one of
Yep.
the portals there. And when we were on Bell Rock at this last time, a few of the participants actually have a picture of a galactic captured
Wow.
on camera. It's amazing.
Wow. Wow. I think going to a retreat with you, Jill, would be totally awesome. Full of adventures. So
Oh, it's
yeah,
amazing. My
yeah.
husband is also a psychic medium, and he's a Reiki master teacher, and my twin flame, and we lead these retreats together. He's a sound healer, and we do galleries together, mediumship uh, galleries. So it's amazing. So join us, please. And Sedona's coming up in September, and then next year we're doing Machu Picchu, which is
Cool.
the sacral chakra. Sedona is the base chakra, the root chakra of Mother Earth. That's why it's so grounding there in Sedona. It's a beautiful place to transmute ancestral karma, relieve past traumas and wounds. It's a beautiful place to work with that kind of energy. And then we're also going to the sacred stone circles of England for the
Mm.
summer solstice in 2024, and Stonehenge, Glastonbury, Avebury, some of the other ancient stone circles. And the rocks, as you know, Nancy, holds so much wisdom
Oh yeah.
inside of them. They're record keepers. And so when we
Yeah.
can go and work with these ancient rocks and channel there, there's so much opportunity for healing. And Glastonbury is the heart chakra of
Oh,
Mother
is it?
Earth. So it's a very loving energy there. It's like something that's difficult to
Mhm.
describe unless you experience it. So we have an interest list going. I have no doubt that retreat will sell out. So if the listeners are interested in it, be sure to get on the interest list, go on my website, sign up for the newsletter, and or send an email, and we'll send you the sign up sheet to be on the early bird notification.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. All these trips. And you said Machu Picchu very quickly. When are you going to Machu Picchu?
Yeah, I believe that was April. It's on the website. And a new website is coming, mysticjourneys.us, and that's our spiritual travel website. That'll be live by May 1st, and all of the details will be on there. But that Machu Picchu, Lake Titicaca in Peru is the sacral chakra of
Mm.
Mother Earth. So we're going to be working on creativity channels and visiting the sacred
Oh,
places
nice.
there.
Yeah, we did hear the reference, I did some Andean shamanism with the Quechua people, and they refer to it as the navel chakra. And I said, well, sacral, it's very cool. That's very, very cool.
Yes.
And it's very cool. So where's the crown chakra?
Tibet.
Tibet. Okay. Tibet. Wow.
Yes.
Have you gone to Tibet yet?
Not yet. Not yet, but it's on the list for sure.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So many resources with Jill for all the listeners. Really look her up, jillmjackson.com. Is that how it is? And then intuitivecompassacademy.com. And then Facebook, just looking up Jill M. Jackson. Lots of ways to get a hold of Jill, lots of ways to connect. You do readings, you do mentorships or one-on-one coaching, classes that are all kinds of really cool, not your usual. And I recommend, I like to bring people into the Angelscape podcast that add to people's soul's development, add to enlarging their lives. And I feel Jill is one good resource, reliable and available. And so I really recommend on your soul journey to take a look at what she has to offer, guys, and take advantage of all of these wonderful people that are coming your way. And Jill is one of them. So
thank you, Nancy.
Jill,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. I just am so honored that you've come on board. When the book comes closer to being done, we'll have you back on, or we don't have to wait for that either. Any kind of trips coming up, we could have fun talking about them. I think it'll be a wonderful topic. Just talking about the energy centers of the earth would be amazing. How did you learn that? Where is that coming from? And that kind of thing. So we really am so blessed to have you and to get to know you. And thank you. And
thank you so much, Nancy. It's such an honor. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. And for now, to all the listeners, do embrace your soul's journey. Listen and learn your soul's language and move forward, because that is why you're here, to integrate your soul with your human life and to live a fantastic, very soul-based life. So thank you, and see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Silver, live stream stopped.
Okay.
Thanks again.
I apologize about that light, Nancy.
Oh, no.
Coming in.
It was something really amazing. I almost got distracted watching, and now it's calm.
Yes.
There's So we had 22 comments, 3 shares, 91 views. So that's very good for just the very beginning. But a lot of people had a lot of questions, and you're welcome to go back on my page and answer if you feel like you want to. If you want to put more information about yourself on there, please do. And
thank you, Nancy.
And oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure. I really appreciate it. I never thought of reaching out to you, and shame on me. So
timing is everything. Timing is everything. And it's just such an honor. You're a beautiful person inside and out.
Thanks.
Nancy.
Oh, so are you. Yeah, thank you. Well, I hope to just chat you up sometime when it's not even, work. So
absolutely.
Okay.
I would love that.
Right.
Have a beautiful evening. Thank you, Nancy.
Too. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining the Angelscapes podcast. We hope you've gained new insights and inspiration for your journey to uncover and access your soul's power. For more information and a deeper dive into finding clarity in your life, go to andjillscapes.com. Remember to subscribe so you can be part of the discussion. It may just change your life. See you next time.